The lights above the massive stage glimmered like 1,000 tiny suns. Cameras rolled. The crowd murmured with restless anticipation. Yet, behind the curtain, a trembling 12-year-old boy stood barefoot, his tiny hands gripping a worn-out microphone like it was his lifeline. His name was Eli Navarro, a street kid from a small fishing town in the Philippines, and this was his moment. The world didn't know him. Not yet. Eli had grown up singing to the ocean, not to chase fame, but to quiet hunger. His father had drowned in a storm when Eli was 8. His mother, frail and tired, washed clothes by the river to feed him and his little sister, Isla. Every night, Eli sang on the dusty streets, his voice echoing between the coconut trees and the flickering lamplights. People would drop coins into a rusty tin can, whispering, "That boy's voice, it's pure magic." One night, a tourist recorded him singing, "You Raise Me Up." The clip went viral. Within a week, it reached millions of hearts. Comments flooded in, "Who is this angel boy? He sings like he's lived 1,000 lives." And then came the invitation, an audition for World's Got Talent, the global stage every dreamer longed to stand on. When Eli received the letter, his mother wept. "Promise me, my son," she said, holding his face gently, "no matter how big the world becomes, don't lose the heart that sings for others." Now, standing behind that curtain, Eli remembered her words. He took a deep breath as the host's voice thundered through the arena. "Please welcome, Eli Navarro." The curtain lifted. A hush fell over the crowd. He stepped forward, barefoot, nervous, yet strangely serene. The judges exchanged puzzled glances. One leaned over and whispered, "Where are his shoes?" Another shrugged. But the audience's curiosity turned into silence as Eli lifted the microphone and spoke softly. "My name is Eli," he said. "I came here to sing for my sister and for everyone who forgot what hope sounds like." The music began, just a soft piano intro, and then his voice soared. It wasn't just singing. It was storytelling. It was truth. The first verse carried pain, the second, healing. And by the chorus, people forgot they were in a competition show. The stadium turned into a cathedral of emotion. A mother in the audience wiped her tears. One of the judges pressed her hand to her heart. Even the camera crew, hardened by hundreds of auditions, found themselves frozen. When the song ended, silence followed, deep, sacred silence. And then, an eruption. The entire audience rose to their feet, clapping, shouting, crying. Judge Marina, known for her cold, critical tone, could barely speak. That, she whispered, didn't sound like a performance. That sounded like a prayer. Eli bowed, his small shoulders trembling. He didn't understand every word, but he understood the faces, the tears, the smiles, the hands reaching out. And then, the world stopped. Judge David slowly stood, eyes glistening. Without a word, he pressed the golden buzzer. The room exploded in gold. Confetti rained like blessings. Eli's face turned upward, eyes wide, lips trembling, as if heaven itself had opened. His mother's voice echoed in his heart, "Sing for others." He fell to his knees, sobbing, as the host ran onto the stage to embrace him. The audience chanted his name, Eli, Eli, Eli. Little did anyone know, that buzzer would not just change his life. It would change the world. The video went live the very next morning. Within hours, it was everywhere, on phones, tablets, TV screens, and news tickers from Los Angeles to London, from Mumbai to Manila. The thumbnail showed a barefoot boy bathed in gold confetti, tears streaming down his face. The title read, "Golden Buzzer Moment That Shocked the World." And shocked it did. In New York, commuters paused mid-step, eyes glued to their screens. In Nairobi, a teacher replayed the video for her students, their classroom filled with silence and awe. In a hospital in Brazil, a nurse held her phone beside a child's bed, whispering, "Listen, this is what hope sounds like." Within 48 hours, the video hit 100 million views. But behind the glowing headlines and the worldwide applause, Eli remained the same humble boy. He didn't care about numbers or fame. All he cared about was sending money home to fix the leaking roof of their small bamboo house and buying medicine for his mother. Meanwhile, the show producers flooded his mother's phone with calls. "We want to fly you and your daughter to the next round in Los Angeles," they said. "The world deserves to see this family together." For the first time, Eli's mother saw her own son's name printed across the globe, Eli Navarro, the boy who sang to heal hearts. Backstage before the semi-finals, Eli sat quietly, his small fingers tracing the cracks on the microphone handle. Other contestants laughed and took selfies, but Eli prayed softly, whispering, "Lord, if I win or lose, just let someone out there feel less alone tonight." When he walked out again, the crowd erupted like an ocean wave. This time, he sang a hauntingly beautiful version of "Fix You" by Coldplay, but midway through, something unexpected happened. The lights flickered, and the power cut for a few seconds. Gasps filled the arena, but Eli didn't stop. He kept singing, a cappella, voice steady, unshaken. That moment, that voice in the darkness, felt divine. The audience joined in, softly humming the chorus with him until the power returned. When it did, the entire stadium was already standing, waving their hands in unison, tears rolling freely. The judges didn't even wait for the final note to fade. They stood together, all four of them, applauding the boy whose voice had lit up the dark. When the host approached him after the song, he asked, "Eli, how do you stay so calm up there?" Eli smiled shyly. "Because I'm not singing to win," he said. "I'm singing so my mom can sleep without worry. I'm singing for my sister's smile." His words melted the internet once more. That night, celebrities reposted his clip. Singers, actors, and even athletes wrote about him. One wrote, "This boy reminded me why I started singing." Another said, "In a world full of noise, his voice is truth." But perhaps the most moving response came from a man sitting alone in a penthouse in Tokyo, an aging billionaire named Kenji Sato, who hadn't spoken to anyone since losing his daughter in a car accident years ago. As Eli's song filled his quiet apartment, something inside Kenji broke open. He replayed the clip 5 times, then 6. Finally, he whispered, "Maybe I can help him." 2 weeks later, the show's producers received a mysterious call from Kenji's assistant. He wanted to sponsor Eli's education, not just for a year, but for life. And not only that, he pledged to build a music school for underprivileged children in Eli's hometown. When Eli found out, he cried silently, clutching his mother's hands. "Why me?" he asked. His mother smiled through tears. "Because when you sing for others, the world sings back." Meanwhile, millions continued to share his story. In prisons, inmates wrote letters saying his song gave them hope. In war zones, children hummed his melody in shelters. And in small towns across the world, kids with nothing but dreams began to believe that maybe, just maybe, their voices mattered too. But the story wasn't over. Because in the finale, when Eli stepped back onto that glittering stage for the last time, something would happen that no one could have predicted. Something that would make even the hardest hearts cry, and remind the world that love, when sung with truth, can change everything.